Hi, I'm Brian Donahue, VP of Product here at Intercom. Welcome to the January edition of Fin Product Updates. At Intercom, we're deeply invested in building the best AI agent on the market, and that means shipping improvements every single week to Fin. Everything we build is organized around the Fin Flywheel, a continuous improvement loop that makes it easy to train, test, deploy, and analyze Fin's performance. Last month, we focused on new features in Analyze, including CX score reasons and topic trends. This month, we shipped 15 new features across our product, and today we're going to show you a few of them. So we'll start in Analyze again, where we'll walk you through our updated performance report, where we've got a new automation rate metric. Then we'll go deeper in the Optimize dashboard, where we've got more and better suggestions across content, data, and actions, and this allows you to improve Fin's performance with just a few clicks. And lastly, we'll show you a core upgrade to Fin, with Fin now sending images. So let's start with our updated Fin performance report, which we've just shipped. Fundamentally, Fin's performance comes down to two things: effectiveness and quality. Effectiveness, how many conversations is Fin resolving? And quality, what is the customer experience of those conversations that Fin is involved in? So that's what we've brought top and center into our new performance dashboard. So let's start over to the right with CX score. Now, last month we talked a lot about CX score, and why we're showing CX score and not CSAT here is because CX score solves the coverage problem. CX score covers all your meaningful conversations, so you know you have an accurate view of quality, and it's consistent in how it's evaluating every single one of these. And last month we talked about bringing in CX score reasons. So we're not just showing you the score, but we're showing you why it's gotten that score. And of course, with the power of our whole reporting system, you can dig in here and go into the details, drill in. We've got a bunch of ways to slice and dice your way into why the CX score is what it is. Now we've also got a new metric here over on the left-hand side, and that's automation rate. Let me talk you through an example here to explain why we brought in this new metric. So previously, we've really anchored heavily for Fin's effectiveness around resolution rate. And resolution rate is, of all the conversations that you've sent to Fin, how many is Fin successfully resolving, right? Makes sense, and most of our customers, our average is actually 67, 68% right now. And customers are like, hey, this is really good. I'm really pleased with this. The problem is that it disguises the impact of your involvement rate. And your involvement rate is, how many conversations are you actually sending to Fin? And what happens is when you combine these together, effectively you multiply these two together, you get a much more accurate view of the overall impact of Fin. Because you combine these two together and the 68% resolution rate, when you're only sending half of your conversations to Fin, you're only got an automation rate of 32%. This is a very different story and a very different picture to what you would have thought about if you'd anchored around the resolution rate. So that's what automation rate is. Of all your inbound conversations, how many is Fin resolving? This is your North Star metric. So let's go back to our actual performance report here. And this is Intercom's actual data here. And you can see we've tried to illustrate the patterns that we've just shown you in the Sankey diagram here, where we really show the flow of where all your conversations are going and what's happening with them. And particularly useful here is that it can show usually a huge lever for improving your involvement rate is your other channels. Not as big for us here at Intercom, where we're very chat-centric, but for a lot of customers, they're not even showing Fin, not even exposing Fin to email or to voice or to Slack or to the social channels. So that can be a huge opportunity to improve that involvement rate, which of course is a huge lever for automation rate. And something else new we've done is we've gone more granular in what's happening deeper into that funnel. So hey, here's the conversations that Fin escalated. How many of them are user requested versus, hey, a lot of these might actually be from the guidance rules that you've set up. We've actually seen a fair amount of overuse, we think, and customers escalating too many conversations automatically, and again, not giving Fin a chance to answer it. So this is like the big picture of where your opportunities are to improve your automation rate. Now, if we go behind the Optimize button, this is really where we bring the magic of specificity of what you can do to make improvements. So I've got Christine, our product director, back on the show again, this time to talk about Optimize.
Yeah.
Christine, tell us what we got here.
Great. Okay, so Optimize is the home of suggestions. These are these really targeted actions that the system will recommend to you, and if you take them, Fin will be able to resolve more queries in the future. And we have a couple of different types of suggestions: content, data, and actions. I'll get into the product, start showing you the different content suggestions.
Nice, go for it.
So this is our Optimize dashboard. It's the home of suggestions. Suggestions are really specific actions that the system will suggest to you. If you take them, you'll be able to resolve, Fin will be able to resolve more conversations. And we've got three different categories. We've got content suggestions, data suggestions, and action suggestions. But we'll start with content, and specifically add content. These are completely new pieces of content that we will suggest that you add to your knowledge base. So you can see here for Intercom, we're suggesting that you add this information around email troubleshooting. You can see this is the new piece of content that we're suggesting you add. You can add it as a new snippet, an article, or add it to an existing piece of content. And here we'll give you more context as to why we're suggesting this. So these are all of the conversations that were like the source material for this suggestion.
This is real Intercom data.
This is real, yes, we're in the Intercom workspace. So this is simple adding content. The next is all around editing your existing content. So here we're in an existing article about troubleshooting SSL, and the system has identified 3 different edits for this article. So you'll see here, we'll like redline something, we'll tell you to remove this line here, but go ahead and add this one which has more context. And you can flip through all of these, and you can decide whether you want to approve or reject this particular part of the suggestion.
Very slick. So what's the system at work here? What's going on behind the scenes to power these?
Yeah, so I'll show you these related conversations again. So what we do is we look at all of the conversations that Fin was unable to resolve, and we spot patterns or consistencies in how your teammates have actually gone through and resolved these. And we take that, extract it, see if there's information in your knowledge base for Fin, and if there isn't, that means like Fin doesn't have the same context as your teammates. We want to give that context and information to Fin.
Gotcha. Okay, I mean, it's so hard to keep content comprehensive, accurate, up to date. And with these, we're really going in and helping make you, here's exactly the change you need to make that matters to you, because this is what your customers are writing in and your team needs to answer. I got it. Okay, so keep going. We're not done here. You got more content suggestions.
Yeah, so we've got 2 types, or 2 additional types. This is around duplicate content. So this is a little bit more technical, and this is really not just about like cleaning up your knowledge base, but making Fin more effective. So in this case, what we've done, we've got 2 articles. They're about really similar things. They're quite redundant. And what that means is that if Fin gets a question through about chatbot CSAT, it will pull both of these articles into its context window. And so what this means is, Fin can only pull in but so many different pieces of content. These 2 articles are taking up space in that context window. We want to reduce the amount of different things. We want to reduce the amount of similar things that Fin has to pull in to resolve
Make
queries.
it less noisy for Fin.
Exactly.
Because it impacts how well Fin is.
Exactly. So you can compare these 2, decide which one you want to keep or how you want to consolidate things.
I mean, these seem so precise, and there's this robust system behind them. Why not just auto-approve all these things?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you are sort of the authoritative...
The source of truth, right? The customer has to be the source of truth here.
Exactly. And so like we give you the authority to review all of these, and you're ultimately the one who decides to click approve.
We can point to you, here's what it seems you need to do based on what's going on, but customers must own that source of truth. And that's what Fin acts on.
Right. And to be honest, like we make this really easy to do. Like our own CS team, for example, reviewed, I think, 21 content suggestions in a few days. And approving those resulted in 3,000 additional resolutions for Fin. And some of those just took a few minutes to like review and approve.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's content suggestions. You got more for us?
I do. So now we have, I've filtered over on data suggestions. So this is where it's not about content, it's about giving Fin access to data that lives in another system. So in this case, if we gave Fin access to more information around like internal subscription data, Fin would be able to resolve many more conversations.
And these are questions that are like, what's your account balance, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And so for every data suggestion, we will give you an overview, tells you more about like the value of doing this. We'll show you how to create the data connector to actually pull that information in, give you a sample of the queries that would get answered, how much effort we think it would take. And then this is like the real killer here. We'll actually give you the sample API documentation. So this isn't 100% correct, but it's definitely going to give you a sense of like, this is what the data should look like. This is great if you've got someone technical in your team, you can just hand this over to them. But it's also a great tool to like go get another technical resource to help you out here.
Gotcha.
So that's just about getting data. The final one is around Fin taking action. So in this case, we want to allow Fin to extend trial periods for people who are trying out Fin. This suggestion is structured in the exact same way. We've got an overview, the types of queries that would get resolved, and then the sample API docs as well. So this is the thing that helps you set up like a particular procedure for Fin to go take action somewhere else.
And I think as all our customers know, the content ones, it ranges for everyone, but you're roughly half of your inbound conversations are going to be about content suggestions.
Yeah.
And somewhere 25 to 50%, sometimes even more, are about data.
Right.
So these are really critical to get that automation high, is to tackle those data gaps. And that's where we're walking you as far as we can, as far as the current state of the tech, and this will change soon, allows us to help you get there. Okay, got it. I mean, I think these suggestions, this whole suggestion engine, these are some of my favorite features we've built for Fin. I think they're really the best illustration of the Fin flywheel in action and how we help you build momentum for that continuous improvement loop. I think it's the most powerful and intuitive AI improvement engine on the market. All right, so our last demo for today is a core upgrade to Fin that I'm pretty sure everyone is going to like. Fin can now send images. So Pedro has joined us. Welcome, Pedro. Pedro is a principal machine learning scientist from our AI group. Pedro, show us what you've built.
Yeah, let's just see it in action. I'm asking Fin here a question. How can I add guidance to Fin? Guidance is the way that we can influence Fin's behavior and communication style. So Fin provides, as always, a great informational answer. But now Fin is also consulting the Help Center for imaging its content. And here he found a very helpful screenshot, exactly showing how to add guidance with just a simple visual cue instead of having to read through the whole text. Nice. So yeah, let's see another example in action. How can I summarize a conversation in the inbox? This feature was built to work for all content types. So this works for public articles, HTMLs, PDFs. It can send even more than one image. For example, if there's like a step-by-step troubleshooting steps across multiple images, Fin can send them together in the right order.
Nice, okay.
And Fin can also send GIFs. So it works for pretty much any type of like image content, including GIFs. It has no cost to use this feature whatsoever. There's not even a latency cost. Fin is going to stream the answer at the same time as before, but now it might append the image at the end if it's useful. And for email, it even does inline images.
Nice. I must say, the first time, it's like a moment of delight when you get the GIF in there. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, sweet, this is really nice. But tell us, so this seems great. Was this hard to build?
Yeah, definitely. To make sure that we really nail Fins and images when they're useful, to provide some extra context, and not sending them when they're not useful. This required a lot of experimentation, a lot of trial and error. We had to run multiple A/B tests, spanning across around 10 million conversations. And we are really happy with the final results. We can see increase in resolution rate overall. As I said before, no impact to latency. This works for different content types, works for static and dynamic images of GIFs, and is already live today for everyone at no extra cost. It just works out of the box, as long as, of course, you have image content in your Help Center.
Beautiful. Okay, and I know we had one customer who shared with us their results they saw Lightspeed, and they told us that they saw a 7% higher CX score and a 10% higher resolution rate on conversations where Fin sent an image. Pretty amazing to see that. So beautiful. As you said, live today for everyone, and it works across channels, email, Slack, WhatsApp, social, it's all there. Go check it out. Okay, so that's a wrap for this month's Fin product updates. Today we looked at the new performance report with the automation rate metric, the optimized dashboard with suggestions now across content, data, and actions. And finally, Fin Image Answers, a core upgrade that allows Fin to show, not just tell. Everything you've seen is live today. We'd love for you to try it out and give us your feedback and tell us what you think. Thanks for watching, folks.